I got a bookshelf. I got a bookshelf. I obviously don't have it decorated as well as I could. I don't have as I don't know where a lot of my books went. I had a bunch of books. I know I downsized a lot over the years, but I had some like books that were kind of precious to me that I wouldn't have gotten rid of, and yet they're like nowhere to be found. So, but I found a bunch of my books. I have comics up here with my Batmans. Oh, I'm wearing a Batman shirt. I'm realizing I'm looking like a huge Batman freak right now. And I will say I resonated really highly with the psychology of Batman. I do have a psychology degree. So the reason why I'm drawn to Batman is not because he's a billionaire who can make toys with his money to then, be crazy with. It's literally because of the villains. It's literally because Batman is, one, a darker comic. I also have Justice League Dark up here, and I have the Midnighter because he's a dark queer story, and love it. But I was really drawn to the villains of Batman just because it's all about psychology, and the message was always that like your mind, given the right amount of trauma and the right type of trauma, can just really kind of go to wild out there places. That's why I gravitate towards Batman. I have a bunch of my children's stuff here. Choose Your Own Adventures. I've got 11 of the 14 L. Frank Baum Oz books. I think there's 14. Yeah, there's 14. And I have up to 11. So I'm missing the Tin Woodman, the Magic, and Glinda of Oz. Of all things, Glinda. This book, this is one of my favorite books. My sister gifted this to me a long time ago. The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. If you are a Tim Burton fan, I highly recommend you get this. It's kind of like a cross between Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or something, but like poems. It's just all weird, and it comes with these drawings. Like here's the Pincushion Queen. Like flippin' cool. I love this. Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories. Would recommend. Obviously, I've got my Alice in Wonderland book. I have a Disney Villains book. So, do you guys remember All Real Monsters? That show, All Real Monsters? My family took a trip to Disney. One of the only real big vacations we took. We went to Disney one year. And All Real Monsters was out recently. And they have a compendium of monsters in All Real Monsters. And I was like, I wanted my own compendium of monsters. I mean, obviously I was into dark things, and I got this villains collection, okay? Sounds cool, but it's literally just the stories being told again. Lovely artwork, but it's just literally the stories being told again from the Disney animated films, early Disney animated films. But yeah, fun times. And I still want an All Real Monsters Monster Compendium. If someone actually were to make that, I would be obsessed. And then down here I have the books that I'm kind of working on or that I'm currently reading, more sci-fi-ish, within reach that I can just grab if I really need. I did buy Monstrilio. Okay. After I had done my 20 top ranked horror books, this was the one I was the most excited for, Monstrilio. And I'm choosing to read this after Swan Song. I'm making two rules. One, if the book that is spun and chosen randomly is over 500 words, 600 words, I want to set a threshold. So if the book is over 600 words, then I will get to choose my next book. If the book is a DNF, I get to choose my next book. So those are my two rules. Because Swan Song is so long, I'm implementing the first rule. And I'm going to be reading Monstrilio after Swan Song. I have to have this review on my channel. I have to know what this book is about. And I hope that I'm not psyching myself up too much for it. Bad book. More dark stuff. Edgar Allan Poe. Fall of House of Usher and Other Tales. I was really big into the dark stuff when I was growing up. David Sedaris, love David Sedaris, okay? He knows how to take a fairly mundane situation and make it very humorous. So this is Naked. He also has a couple other books that I had. I don't know what happened to them. Down here you can't really see it, but I do have. I'm a fan of reading up on tarot and the Kabbalah and astrology. I'm not super, super, super nerdy about astrology, but I have books on these things. I have books about the art and practice of geomancy, which I've never read. I think that when it comes to those more occult perspectives, it's good to be well-rounded. It's good to look at a lot of things. But I do also have Kabbalah Made Easy. I have a bunch of these little books over here. Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. I was gifted this book twice, so I had 2 copies of this book at one point. Never read this book. But I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I like how he makes things accessible. He's got a really good way of taking some crazy ideas and bubbling them down into an easy to understand thing. And then I also have a couple of autobiographies. Matthew Perry's Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, a memoir, and Britney Spears' The Woman in Me. If she's dancing around her living room with knives, I'm wondering if she actually wrote this. But yeah, and I'm going to hang up the artwork. Whoops, whoa. And the artwork that was hanging here, I am going to hang it up back here so that you still have that vision. And over time, this is going to get bigger and bigger and more books, and I'm excited for it. I don't know. I'm just really excited. I'm just really excited for the future of this channel. So I know this wasn't really a productive video, but oh well. Hope you liked it anyways. And I am about 55% of the way through Swan Song, so hopefully I'll be able to get that video out to you guys sooner than later. What are you currently reading in the month of October? Tell me about that. Based off of what I have, are there any books that you think that I might like? Who knows? Be interesting. But that's just a little bit about me and a little about where I come from as a reader. Okay, well, that's enough on me, I guess, for the moment. I hope you all have a wonderful whatever, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.